All right, recording has started. Going over to for it. All right, hello everybody. This is C1999. Welcome to the podcast, the first podcast for the 150 subscriber special thing. I have here on the Discord with me, a good old streamer buddy that I met recently, Nathan Samples Games.
Yep,
Welcome, Nate.
yep. What's up?
How you doing today?
I am doing well. I had a really chill day today.
I had a really mixed day today. It was all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Like right before the actual stream started, I think you were telling me like I'm trying to find some legal documents or something.
God, that was a mess. I got that all sorted out though. Yeah, I got a thing in the mail saying I could get the tax return thing for the whole virus thing, and
Oh, the what is it? The stimulus check?
yeah, I had to go online and sort that out. So that's what I was doing beforehand.
Gotcha.
We might, no guarantee, but we might also have a second guest coming on to the call at some point in time. If he does, we'll introduce him then. But until then, it's just going to be me and Nate hanging out on the thing. We got some loose notes here to go over for podcast stuff. We can throw shit in the between, but...
I love the way you spelled introduce.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not great at spelling. I'll just admit that right out.
I'm not either. I just rely on autocorrect for a lot of that.
Yeah, that's why I put it in Notepad so you can see exactly how bad I am.
Dude, what I've found is whenever I'm typing, if my mind wanders off, I type like in a stream of consciousness way. So I've been sitting there writing notes for a stream or a podcast, and I'm like, ask static about Fallout 4, and then I'll hear the dog barking. I'm like, why is the dog barking? And I type that, and then I look up and I'm like, what the hell?
I used to write shit like that all the time, especially when it came to doing like cliff notes for school. Just be doing something, somebody's in the background, and just in the middle of me typing, it's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yes, exactly.
That's great. But yeah, so first off, the way I have this set up right now, just for those people who will be turning into the viewing portion of it, either on stream or in the post podcast bit, because I am posting it straight from the recording of the live stream stuff. You'll see my face cam on here, so you get to see my beautiful face. And if you want to go see Nate's beautiful face, he streams relatively regularly. You can feel free to plug yourself now.
I do Mondays through Fridays at 10 a.m. and then I do sub-only / loyalty streams on Saturdays, where it's basically like if you're a VIP, a mod, or a subscriber, you can tune in.
And then takes days off on Sundays.
Well, I'm like religious, so most of the time, if I am on a Sunday, I go to church.
All right, so we got some really loose cliff notes to go over here.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, let's start with the first one. What brought you into streaming YouTube?
I was bored and I was in college and I wasn't having a very good time. And I started with YouTube and I was never going to stream. I even said it, I'm like, I will never stream because you can't edit yourself. And if you say something dumb, you just can't do it. You can't remove it.
Oh, that's why you go and do what I do, which is if you mess up, you just own up to it and make fun of yourself.
Exactly. That's what I've learned to do. But I was like super like, no, I need to edit it and be careful. I need to do this. I need to do that. Because that's always been how I am. I like to edit. I learned to do like VOD editing before anything else. And like I was in college and I was doing a lot of work. And I just felt like I hadn't done anything specifically for myself. I was like volunteering at church and I was taking advice from everyone else around me. And I'm like, you know what? People think this is a dumb idea, but even if it never becomes a job, I never make any money. It's something I like. Something I want to do.
I do it for myself. That's what you were like.
Exactly.
I feel like that's how a lot of people do it. Like, me personally, when I went and started YouTube, this was, oh god, so long ago. 2009, I think?
1964.
It feels like it. Yeah, I think I started in 2009? I started YouTube. I didn't have like any videos or anything posted back then, but I
Yeah.
started my YouTube account in and it was mainly because of all the people I was watching on there. I just felt like at some point I was like, I just want to do that. I don't care if anybody else gives a fuck about what I do or even
Yeah.
watches me. I want to do it because I want to be able to make somebody's day. I don't care who they are, if they only tune in just because, it randomly pops up for them. If I can make someone's day, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's how I
I mean,
feel
I've
about it.
gotten some really cool freaking messages from people before, like, I'm not gonna say the viewer, and I don't even think they're subscribed to me anymore, but like,
You were number 3,000.
yeah, viewer number, I'll say 110, since they were subscribed to me around that time. I think they unsubscribed at some point, but I have no
It might
freaking
have been
clue.
auto unsubscription.
That's
Because it,
true, because they didn't watch very often, but this is when I was streaming specifically on YouTube, because I was one of those guys who's like, I don't want to go Twitch, I'll just stay on YouTube, because I can do VODs and stream, and then I realized, like, YouTube's all algorithm-based, and it's hard as hell to grow on there. But I had a viewer who came to my stream one day when I was playing Mario Galaxy, and the way
good
I
game.
stream, if no one's commentating with me or if no one's really watching, I just entertain myself. So I'll be sitting there like, Princess Peach, I'm going to touch your booty. And I'm just doing all this garbage. And this guy tunes in, he's
Yes,
like, I've
Kermit
had
the
a.
Frog here. And
Yeah,
I
that
want
is
to
the
touch
voice
that
I do
booty.
all the time.
Great
Someday
voice.
we'll find it. I do that. And
You
I
do that
don't
really good
sing
too.
sometimes. Yeah, that's because I've done it like crazy. But I'm like playing Mario, and this guy comes in, and he's like, my mom broke her back today, and I'm really upset. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll pray for you, and I'm just trying to be comforting and
Did you step
nice.
on a crack?
Well, no, this goes a really dark place. But
Oof.
he came back like months later, 4 months later, when I was streaming Fable or something on YouTube. And he came in, and I'm like, yo, what's up? I haven't seen you in forever. How's your mom doing? And he's like, she died.
Oof.
And it was
That
such a weird
sucks.
thing. And then he's like, what did he say? He's like, thank you for remembering me. So I had
Oh.
this weird ass mixed emotions where I'm like, oh, I'm glad
You're
that I
like,
made him feel better. And
yeah, you're
also, oh my God.
back. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was
But
the weirdest situation. And I felt such weird mixed feelings as well.
that's like gotta be a hard point in time to just be like, yeah,
It, it was a weird mixed situation because on one end he's expressing gratitude. He's like all thankful that I even remember him talking about that months ago. But on the other end, he's like, I felt bad because I was like, yo, man, everything's going to be all right. I'm sure it's fine. When in that day to try and comfort him.
things can only be better, and then they just went worse.
Yeah, that's kind of because when I hear people say someone broke their back, in my head I was thinking, oh, it's like them breaking their leg or something. I don't know why I didn't think that was deadly in my head.
I mean, it could have been fatal. It could have been non-fatal. It could have gone either
This is
way.
a
It just depended
great
on how
first
bad it
story
was.
for me on stream, by the way. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, somebody broke their back, and I just went, I'll be fine.
Well, I was doing it to make them feel better because they were clearly upset.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know,
can
like,
understand. You know what the fuck to do. You just went with what you felt was right. So,
yeah.
oh yeah. I don't know if I could say I have any stories that are that like roller coaster.
It was interesting.
It was a hell of a time, that's for sure.
Yep. There
Oh
was
my,
one time when I was streaming and someone said something mean to me,
and I
and then I
banned them.
got sad.
But then I got happy because I could remember that I could ban them. And then I banned them,
Yeah.
and then I got sad because they were my only viewer.
Dude, I had someone when I was streaming Skyward Sword on YouTube. I used to stream what was it? When I would stream, I'd get a ton of spam in my comments starting off, and like I'm not always soft-hearted, but I'm a person who's very like nice to someone over and over and over again, and then I get like to the point where I'm like, no, I'm done entirely, and there's no more options. So I'm super patient until I'm completely not patient at all.
I mean, I'm the hardest softie you'll ever meet. Like, I'll be the kind of
Yeah.
person where if you piss me off, I'll be crying my eyes out as I beat the shit out of you.
I mean, like the way I am, I'm just too patient. So by the time I'm mad at people, I'm done with them, at least for a while. And that I got to a point where I kept getting spammed on my freaking YouTube videos, and I had to keep blocking these spam bots and blocking these people who would self-promote my chat. And so one time a guy came in and he joined the channel and he's like, "Yo, what's up, man? I just subscribed with my channels," with an S at the end. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Then he logged in with another account and he's like, "Yo, what's up, man? I just subscribed with my channels." And then I didn't even ban him. I think I threatened to ban him. I'm like, it looks like someone's a bot. They need to be banned. Because I thought it
Yo,
was just a
man, I
bot.
just came in and described with my channel. There's what showed up.
Well, they did it with 2 or 3 different accounts. They said the same thing. So that's literally spam.
Yeah.
And so I threatened to ban them, and then they left chat, and so I didn't ban them. I just left them alone. And I checked the discussion tab on my channel later, and they were literally like, "You're evil. All I wanted to do was support you." And I'm like, I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I didn't even ban you.
Confusion ensues.
Dude, I was so I think that's the first person I ever banned on my entire YouTube channel. Ever.
You didn't even ban him. You just threatened to ban him.
No, I banned them after they just bitched in my discussion tab because at that point I'm like, they're toxic. It's not worth it.
Comes back
Not
with
worth making
another
peace with them anymore.
They just come back with another account. Those are the kind of people
That's
that
true.
They are. They're like
That's true.
cockroaches. You think they're gone and then they just come back.
I banned like 15 Sonic OC accounts once while playing Sonic Forces on YouTube. Not literally 15, it was like 8 maybe, but we were streaming and there was a bunch of people whose username was like Sally Acorn, Vector the Crocodile. It was literally Sonic characters and OCs and crap. And I'm pretty sure they were all the same guy, or at least a couple people who were friends. And they were
like,
mostly
yeah,
chill in stream.
Watch this guy.
Well, yeah, they were mostly chill. And then one of them was being really pushy with me. Like I was making a joke and they were getting all pushy, and I'm just like,
just out because I whacked my table by accident.
That happens to me all the time. I got mine on a tripod when I'm streaming. Sometimes I'll accidentally kick it. So I got freaking size 13 feet, and literally they're right in front of the tripod legs at all times.
Well, I have ADHD.
I could be across the room.
As people can watch on stream or on the VOD, they'll be able to see how ADHD I am as I keep rocking back and forth in my chair.
Dude, I was watching Ninja the other day, and he does the same stuff, except he rocks like a crazy person. He goes forward and backward on stream. He'll be like sitting there in his chair, bouncing up and down and going forward and backward.
He's like,
I was like, why don't you just stand up for a sec, dude? That's when I feel that antsy. Like, I'll do that sometimes. I'll spin back and forth. Like, I don't have ADHD, but I get distracted. I'll look at the game, then I'll look to my left at chat, then I'll look at the game. So that looks kind of awkward. Look to my left at chat, then I'll look at the games. But normally if I get that antsy, I'll literally go on BRB. That's why I'll go on like breaks sometimes, either because I need to pee-pee or that. Need a pee-pee tinkle.
I just accidentally had a little bit of echo on the stream. Looked at the screen itself to make sure everything was working.
It happens. I think they'll understand.
I gotta find my notes. So was there any streamers or YouTubers or anybody like that that you like watched that made you getting, hey, I should do that. That seems.
Yeah, the AVGN and Classic Game Room back in the day.
Video game nerd's kind of gone downhill though, hasn't he? Like he's kind of like he's posted less often, and it just doesn't like was it used.
I don't think it's necessarily gone downhill. I think it's just that like his audience wants him to keep doing it. He probably wants to be a filmmaker, but he's just like, well, I gotta eat, you know.
Well, last time I heard anything about him, he was getting tired of the whole AVGN character.
Well, what he's literally done is he's done like 5 or 6 episodes where he's teased like the idea of like, no, I'm not done with the show yet. The show isn't over yet. I'm not done with AVGN yet. And it's like, just Like, there's a certain point where it's got to wind down. Unless you're going to do like a nostalgia critic thing and just be like, the show is a totally different show now, but it's still named this.
I mean, I like Nostalgia Critic. Every episode is its
I
own
do
little mini
too.
story.
Well, I
It's
do
always
too, and
making fun of
that's
the
how he
movies it's
kept.
watching.
Yeah, well, that's how he kept the series alive. Is he literally was getting sick of just riffing off of a movie and doing nothing else. So he's like, let's throw in sketches and fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's...
It's also more transformative. So if he got sued, he could probably be like, no, this is more fair use than it was before, even.
It also gives his brother something to do with his like filmmaking, stuff. Because his brother, from what I know, he went to film school for all like the performing arts shit.
I think they both did. Like, I think they were both theater kids or something.
Oh, it gives his brother something to do on the side. He's directing while, his brother's being nostalgia critic, and also all the half the other characters. Heck, his brother even plays Santa Christ, so.
Yeah, Santa Christ. His name is Santa Christ. As a Christian person, I freaking love that type of crap.
It's great.
Like, that is one of my favorite things.
They do so much stuff, and it's always fun to watch. Like
they're really hated now.
Side stuff. I've started even getting into some of their side stuff, like fanscription and stuff.
I've never watched that. Is that the podcast?
Fanscription. There's a fanscription podcast, and then there's fanscription itself. Fanscription is like a what if kind of thing. They take like what if theories that people have had, and they write out entire like how the plot would go if it's like that.
So it's like game theory, but less stupid, basically, or like film theory.
It keeps kind of similar ideas, like the whole what if Scar like raised Simba kind of deal. They keeps the base of the story still the
Scar
same.
would have killed Simba. There's no way he would have raised him.
Well, originally that was the plan, was him to be raised by Scar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they thought that was too like,
dark.
Yeah. I mean, it's
to
Disney.
be honest, that show actually sounds right up my alley. Then I may actually have to watch that.
Yeah.
I know nostalgia critics really hate it now.
I don't know why. There's been a lot of people like that. Streaming and podcast. Got nobody. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
I'm just gonna cut that out. Nothing happened. There was no interruption.
My dad did not just walk in here and ask me to do something.
I have a video that is somewhat popular on my channel, which is called the Old Troller, which was me trying to like set up the recording or live stream or something like that. I started something, and my dad just popped in the background, just sticking his head in on like the Christmas thing, and it's just like sticks his head in, and I just look at him and go, and it's just fucking great.
Yeah.
Simple but hilarious.
Simple and clean. But the nostalgia critic, I think, is hated because there was like this big campaign to expose him for all these random things. And like most of it is people who worked with him being butthurt because he was the biggest on that website. Most of it is petty whining. And then there's like 2 or 3 legitimate, like, if this is true, that's really bad things.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly just cancel culture. Like, I hate cancel culture shit.
Literally, some of the complaints were like he took the best slots on the website, which is like the banner on the top where they'd promote things. It's like, yeah, his face was literally on the banner of the website. It was that guy with the glasses then. Of course, his videos were the most promoted.
Yeah, before it was Channel Awesome, it was that guy with glasses. So.
Yeah, and it was literally, it wasn't his website in a technical way because I don't think he actually owns it, but it was his website. He can be in the top slot.
So they basically put him as the guy.
Yeah.
So it's not his fault that everybody wanted him there.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the thing is like a lot of it is stuff like that. Like whenever we did a thing at a convention, we would invite Doug Walker there, and he wouldn't go with us because he said that the convention wouldn't pay for the hotel. Which I'm like, honestly,
That's just
that's
petty
just
sounding.
economically conscious in my eyes. Like
That's just
it's a
sounding
little
petty.
dickish if you're refusing to see your friends, but also that's just normal. Like I don't want to waste money right now.
It sounds like they're just being petty if they're
It
making
sounds
that
like he did a
excuse.
lot of crap that hurt their feelings, and then they it built up over the years until they made this big exposed thing. The
Yeah, this
two legitimate accusations that actually kind of bother me. One is the Jew Wario thing, which is a YouTuber who was accused of rape. I'm not sure if it's true or not. I haven't looked into it to be honest,
I've
but
never even
from what
heard
I
it.
no, that these were the two things that actually made people not want to associate with Doug Walker anymore. Is Juwaria was a creator on that site who was accused of grooming underage fans, and Nostalgia Critic allegedly tried to cover it up. And then the other thing is they had a receptionist that worked at their office or something who hurt herself on the job or some crap, and then they made her sign a waiver that meant she couldn't work for them anymore, and she couldn't sue them or some crap, or she couldn't like work for anyone else, like a no competition thing. Those are the two actually scummy sounding things that I've seen.
I don't
And one of
think
them, I don't know how true it is or not, because to be honest, I
the
don't know anything
second
about
the,
Juwario.
the second one I can honestly say it like I don't even think they consider themselves big enough to even require that kind of.
Well, I think because they run it like a business, they probably did it so they didn't get sued or something. I don't know.
I don't know. That's
I
not super bad,
yeah.
but the second one maybe from a logistical business standpoint, something like
Yes.
that would be an issue. So you could see maybe that something like that might happen, but I don't think that's
Yeah.
a thing that he would do. I think more likely than not he would kick the guy out if he even
I
suspected that shit.
to be honest, I think it's more of a thing where like his inner circle or whatever was like, we probably should do this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone blamed Doug Walker for certain things that also weren't even. It was probably like company
More
decisions
likely a
since there's
group
like
thing. Yeah.
yeah, 3 or 4 people tend to make those kinds of decisions once it becomes like an actual company. So I doubt it was just Doug Walker saying, "Let's cover this up" or "Let's do that."
But they always blame the big guy. They always blame the
They
head for
blame
any
him because he's the
problems.
face of the company.
Exactly. Always the head that gets fucking blamed for. Got
That
cheese
being
balls.
said, I admit I'm not an expert on this crap. I'm not saying what is true and isn't. I don't freaking know. I'm saying my opinion.
I got cheese balls.
Yes. Do you have a soda can inside of a foam cup behind you?
No, that's a monster. Get it right.
Oh, okay. I was looking at that for a sec. I'm like, that's a weird looking cup, and I'm like, oh wait.
Yeah, I got a few things I need to take.
Yeah. I mean,
I,
I'm not saying that like, how dare you?
you're a monster. You don't clean your room every time you leave it.
Dude, I literally like, if we want to talk about messy rooms, my bed is in the background, and it's just always a mess. And then I've got like blankets hanging on the wall behind me, like
I
just
mean,
straight up blankets for sound absorption.
if you want to talk about a mess, technically, I have a bed literally up against the back wall to try
I
to reduce
saw
the
that.
echo.
I actually didn't know what that was when I first saw it, and I'm like, oh, that's a bed.
Yeah, this used to be a bedroom, but they didn't do a makeshift like room. So
Yeah.
sorry, I'm addicted to cheese balls, so you're gonna see me like munching them occasionally.
That's fine. How did you make your graphics for this?
For what
The stream?
the stream? Streamlabs has this thing where if you have Prime with them, you can just get certain graphics off their website for free.
Okay. Did you make the titles up there and everything?
I made the one thing up at the top. The merch link.
get some cool merch stuff.
Yeah, that I made, and then I customized this stuff up here.
Okay, the word intermission is missing an S.
Is it? Is it supposed to be 2 S's?
Yeah, it's like like mission. I'm sorry,
so
by the way,
sorry.
I've corrected your spelling twice, and I'm not saying that. I'm not a grammar Nazi, but
No,
I was thinking more like, huh?
I can understand with something like I don't normally like pay attention to my own handwriting. So.
I only say these things because I don't want someone to watch it later and be like, "Oh, he spelled this wrong" or whatever.
Well, this stuff up above me, the intermission, is only for the stream right now, so it's not being recorded.
Okay, gotcha.
I also don't have like that little chat thing over there.
Oh yeah, are you using the Are you recording video, or are you using the Audacity or something like that?
I'm using the recorder built into Streamlabs.
Oh, and you got like the thing set up where it only records certain sources or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Going back. Customize. Fixed.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not the best with spelling, so.
Oh, you're totally fine. Like I said, I literally type like what I'm thinking in the moment, and then I have to go back and cut it out.
And then there was a dog. And shut the fuck up, dog. I'm trying to type this out. Oh shit.
Dude, I genuinely wish I could have Peanut in the room with me, but he chews on everything right now because he's teething. To the point where I'll take him out of the kennel for an hour to play with him, and when I put him back up, I can only keep him out for about an hour because my hand ends up being covered with little like red marks everywhere. I'm like the only person in the family he's bit and drawn blood with so far because I tolerate him biting me more than them.
Toleration and moderation.
Yeah, I'm trying to train him to stop doing that. Like what we do is we kind of pop him lightly with the newspaper. We don't hit him hard, but kind of just pop him a little bit like, stop it.
Well, where did you get your dog anyway?
Oh.
Not on the list at all. This is just
mid to late last month, I think. He's not that old. He's about like a month old now. A month and a half old or something. We got him when he was 7 weeks. No, I'm wrong. We got him when he was 7 weeks. He's like 2 or 3 months old.
Make sure to be careful with him. When I'm choking on something, you're gone.
Well, that's literally why I put him in the kennel when I can't be watching him, to be honest.
Mini Lad
because all he's gotten there is his chew toys and stuff.
Mini Lad had a dog. Put him in the kennel as he went away for like a weekend, right? With his girlfriend. They came back. Doggo was dead. He had gotten out of his cage and had choked on some food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually outside with Peanut earlier, and I was watching him, and he likes to chew on like random things, and I'm trying to like correct him. Like when he chews on my arm, I'll hand him like his chew bone or a chew toy. And we were out. He's also gotten into the habit of trying to hump my arm and my leg, which is just not annoying at all.
The horny boy.
Yeah, but
if
he's
it moves,
like,
I must hump.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting to that point. But he was outside, and I handed him a stick, and he chewed on it, and then it looked like he's like a furry dog. He's like half Yorkshire Terrier, half Cocker Spaniel, I believe. So he's a little lap dog, and he's very furry. Yeah, he's super fluffy, and I thought there was like a bug or something in his fur. I wanted to check if it was a tick or something, and I went and I tilted his chin up a little bit because it was right next to his eye, and immediately he went. I'm like, Jesus. I was about to like reach in his mouth to try and get whatever's in there, and he just sneezed really hard, and then he's fine. I'm like, what? You acted like you're choking, then you sneeze. Yeah, he acted like he was choking, but then he just sneezed.
He just had like a piece of like, just had something in his throat, and he's just like,
I think so, to be honest.
It's up in my nose.
Yeah, that
now.
was super interesting.
Sneeze.
I always feel so weird when I'm watching Peanut outside because I'll sit there and talk to him. Like, I talk to dogs and cats the way that I do a person. So I was like out there earlier, and I'm like, Peanut, you don't want to. He's like chewing on a part of the chain link fence. I'm like, you don't want to do that, buddy. That's not good for you.
I need my iron, Daddy. Ah.
he'll like lay. He was like going to chew on a. My little niece came over and she brought her kiddie pool, and he was gonna try and chew on that. I'm like, you don't want to do that. You're gonna get whipped if you do that, boy. And I don't know why I do that because he's clearly can't understand me. I just
Actually,
talk
you'd
to
be
him like people.
surprised. Some dogs
Like,
are actually very intelligent.
oh, I
Especially if they're
know that,
raised-
and I know he will understand me, but he can't right now. He's just a puppy.
He'll learn over time.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting to the point where he's starting to behave me well, and he started to do that after I popped him with the paper. Like, the other day, he bit the crap out of me and drew blood, and I put him in the kennel for the night and put him to bed, basically. In the morning when I took him out, I took him out, he kind of just struts over to me and looks up like, yo, we cool, man? And doesn't do anything. Normally, he'll jumper all over you, all excited, and he's just like, yo, we cool? I'm like, yeah, we're cool. Then he peed on his mat, and I gave him a treat for it. We have like these paper mats we're laying on the floor because for some reason we're not training him to scratch the door, which is what we should do. The other day I took him out and he immediately pooped twice, then peed on the floor.
I'm gonna take a shit again, and now I'm gonna.
No, I'm not screwing with you. I took him out. He walked next to the TV, took a dump, went into the laundry room, and I just kind of left him alone because I thought he was just exploring because he's a puppy. And he comes back. I'm like, you pooped, didn't you? And I clean that up. Then he goes to the kitchen and pees on the tile floor in the kitchen.
He pooped.
I'm like, good God.
He just looks at you with a big smile. You pooped again, didn't you? His tail wags.
Dude, the other day I was sitting there eating Doritos with my dinner because I had like a burger and some Doritos. And I'm walking around the kitchen because I get antsy and I need to walk around. And he's looking up at me like begging for food. And I don't want to give him Doritos because that's bad for him. So I walk up and I pick up his thing of treats. And I'm going to give him one. And I put a treat down in front of him and he just is like, what was this crap?
I want the cheese.
And he just kept looking at me eating my Doritos. I'm like, really? You freaking love these things any other time.
It is new. I must have.
Yes, he literally just wanted the Doritos.
I don't care. It was if it's really bad funny. For me. Give me.
Oh, he's such a cute dog, though.
Right. So, have you had any jobs before or after your internet started messing with the internet shit?
Well, I grew up with the internet, and I did YouTube when I was a kid since I was like 13, but it was never like a thing where I was like, this needs to be a job. It was for fun. Regarding jobs, I had an internship at my high school where I edited video crap and did Photoshop crap and then shredded envelopes for them. And then I had a job as a busboy where I hated the job with a passion. They didn't give me very many hours, and the guy who trained me to do this job had me watch for the boss while he smoked a cigarette. Literally, we were told to do a simple task. The boss man told us, go take out the trash. I'm like, okay. And so we both take out the garbage, and then he takes out his little Zippo lighter, flicks it open, and lights a cigarette. He's like, here, watch for the boss. I'm like, what? And this guy told me this sob story about how he was homeless and he didn't have a job, but now he was living with the manager, not the boss man, but the manager, the lower level manager of the store. And that's the only reason why I had a job. And all he did was whine. I'm like, if I was homeless and then a manager at a store was like, I'll let you live with me for free and help you get a job, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, dude, thanks.
Yeah, no shit.
It's like the most ungrateful human being I've ever seen in my life. All he did was whine.
He's a choosy beggar.
Yeah, pretty much. But I had that job and I didn't like it. And they didn't even fire me, by the way. They just stopped scheduling me until I quit. Which I'm almost certain isn't legal, but they did.
It's not. It's a way to avoid firing people. Because if you fire a person, it looks bad on them. But if they quit, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, like it was one of the... And here's the thing. I did my best at that job, but it was a job where I worked lunch hours, and I didn't work that long. It was literally either half to a quarter of a workday, so it was 2 to 4 hours as a part-time thing. And so I specifically would just work at lunch though, which was hard. Like I didn't work that much, but at lunch. And basically, we would have like they had a rule: if someone gets up from a table, you cannot let that table sit for longer than 1 minute without cleaning it, or else you'll get in trouble. You'll get chewed out. However,
Kind of
when you're
hard to
working
do
at
though,
lunch and the restaurant is packed, 4 groups of people will get up at once. And I wasn't doing the cleaning the way they wanted me to. I would actually clean a table. They wanted me to spritz it off with some
They want
spray
you to
and
do a
wipe it
rush
down.
job, I know.
I didn't know that. I just tried to actually clean it, and then they reached a point where they were like hounding me to go faster. And so I started going faster, and I started making asinine mistakes because I felt pressured. Like, oh, you got to do this really fast. I'm like, it's not going to kill them to wait 5 minutes for me to actually clean things properly.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to have a job done right than to have a job done quick.
Well, it's to the point where they were like pressuring me so much. They had this big cart that I rolled around to help people get their dishes and stuff, take plates out from in front of people so they're not like sitting there with a bunch of stuff in front of them. And because I was being pressured to do everything fast, I'd have a cart that was almost completely full every 5 minutes. And I would have to reach over people to get their plates and stuff. And I swear I knocked over 4 drinks in a row on people because I had to reach over 5 different people to grab stuff.
Well,
And
if you're reaching over people, then the people are just being assholes. Because when you have an empty plate, you're supposed to put it towards the end of the table, so that way
yeah,
reaching over shit. That's their own.
basically, my point of view is if they just honest to God came to me and said, "You're not doing a good job. You're not what we need, and you're fired," I'd be a little upset and my feelings would be hurt, but I would go home and I would spend a couple days chilling and then I'd be over it. But they just didn't fire me. They wanted me to quit. And that to me is a cowardly move.
That's just irritating.
Yeah, it was just silly.
Yeah, it's messed up. Anyway, I guess that kind of also covers the second part of that same question.
Oh yeah, did you enjoy it? I enjoyed my internship.
I bet
That
the
was
internship
great.
was probably really fun, but second one
Yeah,
was just like it was like a horror story going further and further. Like
yeah,
and I hated it halfway through your first sentence.
Dude, did I say I hated the internship or the other job?
No. When you started talking about the busboy job, like halfway
Oh yeah,
through
I
your
hated
first
that
sentence,
job.
you
That
were just
sucked.
like,
That crap
and I also,
sucked.
you're literally just went, and I had this other job, and I hated it.
Yeah, I'm just direct with things. I hated that job. I loved the internship because like I was just allowed to do my thing there. And to
I have
be
a similar
honest, it's an
story.
internship. What are you gonna do? Fire me?
I have a similar story with a Burger King. I worked at a Burger King for like a few. It wasn't too bad at first. Mostly what I was doing was clean up duty. It wasn't too bad, but then
Yeah.
like eventually people just started getting lazy. Like night shift was supposed to do its things before day shift came in, right? Last before closing up, and I did shit done right. I had it all done really well, done right, done fast. It was good, and the further it went on, the more shit just started. Like every time I'd come in, more and more shit was just like not done, and it got so bad that I came in one day, right? And the manager that was on night shift was supposed to like defrost the freezer, clean it out of the ice shit and all that good stuff, and they didn't do it. So the morning manager had to come in and defrost the freezer and get it all cleaned out. And the moment I came in, I was doing my cleaning shit, and then the manager on the shift, who wasn't even like the store manager or anything, she was just a manager. She's just like, "Hey, I need you to clean out the freezer for me," and I'm like, what? I go in and see it, and I'm just like, I've already been getting, less hours, longer hour, like less often hours, longer hours with doing a lot more work, and I just was like, I was done. I literally just said, I'm done. I fucking quit. I can't deal with this shit. You guys are gonna keep fucking me over like this?
I got two little things that I want to add to my story about working at as a busboy at the pizza place. One is that store, I worked there for probably 4 months, like 2 or 3 years ago. That was the last job I had. I worked there like maybe 4 months max, minimum of 3, I think. We went through 3 managers. 3 managers. 4 months. That is insane. There was one time where I was doing my job and this guy and his buddies were all cackling like crows to each other in the corner of the restaurant. And one of them comes up to me and he's clearly he's screwing with me the way he's about to say this. He's like, dude, someone just wiped shit on the wall in there in the bathroom. I'm like, I know it's him. I know it's him because he's laughing with his buddies. I'm like, oh, was it you? And he's like, no, man, it wasn't me. And then both managers, we had 2 managers there. One of them looked at me and said, Nathan. I said, oh, I got a weak stomach. I ain't doing that. And in reality, I actually wanted to say, you don't pay me enough or give me enough hours, but I didn't want to say that.
You should have just looked at the guy and went, well, you better go clean it up before the boss finds out.
I wouldn't do it, and the local store manager wouldn't do it. We got the general manager to go clean up poop on the wall in the bathroom. Both of us did. Literally, the general manager was like, okay, I'll go do it.
No one else wants to do it, I'll go do it. I mean, sometimes somebody's just gotta suck it up and be like, fuck it. But,
that's the thing. I'm not going to do it because I know these guys are screwing with me anyways, and I'm like, I'm not going to give you the benefit of it. I know it was
the guy who told you. It's just been like...
He was too joyous for someone who just saw crap on a wall. I'm just being honest.
Exactly. You should have just looked at him and went, well, I guess you better go clean it up then.
I should have said that, but he's laughing with his buddies as well.
I know. And then if they're like, no, you gotta do it, you just be like, ain't my department. I'm not the shit cleaning duty.
Well, I was the bus boy, and that's basically a janitor, but I'm just like, no, I have my limits. You can fire me from this minimum wage job. I don't care. I'll find another.
Busboy doesn't get paid enough to clean up shit. Vomit, different story. Like vomit.
Yeah, I'll clean up your puke, because that's also a normal thing to happen at a restaurant.
Yeah, you look at the shit on the walls. Like that just reminds me of that one scene from. I don't remember what movie it is, but it's just like
Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber.
There's shit on the
You shit all over the wall. He had the Hershey bar and he backed into the radiator with it.
Okay, shit on the floor, shit on the walls.
Yeah, that's Dumb and Dumber.
That's great.
Yeah. I remember loving that movie as a kid. I wish Jim Carrey and a lot of those comedic actors did more stuff, to be honest.
I mean, Jim Carrey just recently did the Sonic movie. I heard he was really good in that.
Yeah. Well, they've all done a little bit of work, him and like Eddie Murphy and all of them, but they're getting older, and I think they're starting to take less roles. And to be honest, cancel culture's a thing, so you have to be paranoid about parts you play in jokes.
With I think most of them are probably taking more of like a laid back approach than Robin Williams, because Robin Williams pushed himself way too hard.
Well, Robin Williams, I think he killed himself because he had Parkinson's or ALS or something.
He had that, but he also, like, if you noticed, he was doing a lot of movie shit up towards the end of his, like, life.
Yeah, like, after he died, they still had a movie coming out with him in it, and it was like, I think it was Night at the Museum or something.
Yeah, he wasn't taking enough time to himself. Like, he had enough bank rolling in from all his, like, previous great movies, like, fucking...
Yeah.
Gem of a movie that is underrated, Dead Poets Society.
I used to have that on tape and I never watched it. I know that's where the standing on your chair and going, "Oh, Captain, my Captain" thing comes from.
It is such a good movie. Like I didn't even when I heard it at first, I'm like, "Oh, it's a Robin Williams movie. It's gonna be good, if not okay." And it's like we had to watch it for a thing about like we were watching it because it was a English class and we were doing like poet stuff. So we watched that and like I watched it and I'm like, this fucking movie is amazing. Why has nobody told me about this?
Yeah.
It is
I
so
need to watch it.
interesting.
Okay, Scott says oh, just got this. I'm on drive. I think he's trying to say he's driving.
Yeah.
He says he'll catch it. He'll catch me next time. And if I want a game tomorrow with Dauntless, and I'm gonna say yes.
Speaking of Scotty, seeing how that's a great transition point to our next point.
Oh yeah.
How did you and Scotty meet?
We both were media guys at the same church. He came in as a part of another ministry, and I can't remember the name of it, but he came in as basically a part of an Actors Guild church ministry and gave this big old announcement. And I remember watching and being like, "Oh, this guy seems cool." And then randomly he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm staying here for church, and I'm gonna be a sound guy." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet! I'll get to hang out with this guy. He seems neat." And then we hung out rather, and then we did media together for a super long time. And I have mad respect for Scott because the amount of bullcrap that our actual, not our media team, but our band put him through. Because the way our church was structured is the sound guy has to listen to the band. You're not allowed to tell them no. You have to freaking listen to their whining. And the thing is, just because someone can play a keyboard doesn't mean they know how to make sound. And so he would be sitting there and he's using like an old like analog sound mixer. It's like a bigger version of what I use on the stream. And they were asking him like one day he had a rough day. He came in to do sound and every single thing he did, someone was like, change this, change that, do that. He had 5 people at the same time asking him for different adjustments, and he laid his face down on the soundboard and started weeping. And me and my buddy Michael, who was the media director, had to sit there and just rub his back, pat him on the back, be like, "It's all right, man. You did good." And after that, like Scott,
stress.
yeah, after that, I have just mad respect for Scott and his work ethic. But that's how we met. We did sound in big church. We did sound in youth group.
Well, and also speaking about Scott, have you seen the movie thing that he made with him and
Bounty Bros?
Yeah. What you think
I think I did watch that on YouTube at one point. He does so much stuff. So much like he's a DJ and he does film and he does martial arts. And to be honest with you, I love him and he's my friend, but at this point when Scott comes out with a new project, I'm like, that's cool. And then I just am like, I want to watch it, but I can't watch everything he does at this point.
Yeah.
I think I watched a bit of it, though.
You know what you could totally do, though?
What?
Like, you have the power to. Like, you could totally do just, like, with his permission, you could just totally do, like, a stream of some of his shit.
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe he would love it. Who knows?
I wouldn't live stream his stuff. He could do it though. He's got the ability to do reruns now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does.
If he doesn't post some of his shit on the reruns, man, he's missing out.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, some people may not know, or some people do know, you're an affiliate on Twitch, and Scotty is too. Did you find the whole process a pain, a relaxing, or what? And what did you think was the hardest part of it?
To be honest, me getting affiliate was probably like, out of all my streamer friends, a lot of them got it really early on them joining Twitch. I multicasted.
So
yeah, they all get it so fast. Yeah, and that's because he's grinding at it and working hard and focused on it.
And I know you told me that story about what happened with yours.
Yeah, I multi-streamed, so I'd stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And most of my audience joined me on YouTube. And this is what I told my audience. I'm like, I also stream to Twitch. Go ahead and follow me there, because that's basically, at the time, that was my backup. Twitch was. I'm like, go follow me there because it's my backup. Because I was trying to get monetized on YouTube, to be honest.
It's massive.
Because I knew YouTube. It's where I grew up watching stuff at.
I was monetized for a while, but I lost it because they changed the rules. Now you gotta have 1,000 subs. Like, holy shit.
I was monetized on YouTube for like, okay, I had 2 different accounts. One I was monetized for like 4 months with. And I've got a funny story with that. Everyone got so shocked and butthurt whenever YouTube started giving yellow dollar signs. Before that was a thing, I got a yellow dollar sign on a video. No joke.
Sorry. I know I get random interruptions. That's what happens.
Oh, it's
It'll
cool.
happen even during like mid live streams and shit. I just have to deal with it.
Yeah. I was what was I saying? I got a yellow dollar sign on a video before that was the thing that everyone was butthurt about. And I still don't know what it was for. It was a video of me playing Super Star Wars on the SNES. And the literal only thing that I can actually think that got me a yellow dollar sign is I bitched about someone who I went to college with being an asshole. And I'm like, and them like, so I talked about religion a little bit at some point in it.
There's 3 things that can make you demonetized, which that's the symbol is the yellow
Well,
dollar sign.
here's the thing. This was before they were doing that in a mass way. That's the only reason why I say that.
But there's 3 major ways that you can get it, and they're much more common now. But like, insulting another person's character, you can get demonetized for.
Okay.
Religion, race, stuff like that. Like,
well, I wasn't being racist or talking bad about anyone else's religion. I was just talking about mine.
But those can cause issues as well. And the third one, which was probably what it was copyright.
Is Star Wars?
Star Wars music, Star Wars. It could have been music. It could have been Lucasfilms being like.
Dude, I literally thought it was a glitch when I first got it, and then I re-uploaded the video 3 times and did minor tweaks and edits, and nothing fixed it. So I'm like, okay.
It was more likely not the music. Did it have like the?
Yes, but I had no copyright claims on it. I just had a yellow dollar sign that was like, this isn't monetizable.
Before they had like the open like copyright claim thing, it was indisputable.
Okay, so I guess that's what happened. But yeah, like the game has that. It's got like a MIDI version or whatever.
Yeah, doesn't matter if it's part of a game. It could possibly be copyrighted, which is annoying. I've had to fight like 3 disputes because of in-game like music being copyrighted. Like Skyrim, I had a Skyrim video that I posted that got demonetized for copyright music, and then I disputed it, and it got green, and then it got fucking demonetized for a completely different reason. Somebody else was copyright claiming it, and it wasn't even a person who works for Bethesda. It was somebody who made their own remake who was copyright claiming it. And I had to dispute that shit because I literally said that I've already disputed this with the Bethesda itself, and Bethesda was cleared that one. So why the fuck am I getting this for someone else who isn't even part of Bethesda? And then that got cleared up. And then it happened a 3rd time on the same fucking thing. And I'm like, are you serious? But this time it was the instrumental. And it's like...
This is why I have a Patreon. This right here is why I have a Patreon. Because obviously I don't have a whole lot of people on the Patreon. But even if I'm not monetized on YouTube, I make a little bit back from anything I post on there technically.
And put behind the scenes content on there.
I've had that exact same thing happen. Right now I archive all my Twitch streams specifically to Twitch as a sub-only thing, and then I do reruns for anyone who wants to tune in who's not a subscriber or whatever. And I used to just post full streams to YouTube. And recently, I'm almost about done doing that. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Patreon now, because, like, to be honest, that was the main thing I was sharing with them, was it's like, you get the same stuff you get on Twitch, but a little bit of extra random crap. And I'm reaching the point where I'm tired of dealing with YouTube, because, for example, one of my Final Fantasy VII videos, it was before the remake came out, I'd play the game, and I'm very, like, how do I say this? I'm very present with commentary as much as I am capable of being. So there's very few moments of constant dead air in a stream. At least for the most part. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna claim I am.
You attempt to try to fill it up as much as possible.
Yeah, because I hate watching a stream where someone's just sitting there silently like, I'm playing a game. It's
My
like, you
brain
also
just
have
shuts
no
off.
charisma at all, but thank you.
My brain just shuts off sometimes when I'm streaming. Like, I'll just be
I
doing
will,
stuff, and if I don't have somebody there to like co-commentate with me, my
yeah.
brain can just completely shut off for periods of time. And I'm just like sitting there, and then somebody pops into the chat, and they have like a delay where it's like 5 seconds of still dead air once they say hey, and then it's just like hey, and they're already gone. It's like, oh
Yeah.
great, fuck me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I try to just be saying something as much as humanly possible. I can't always help it, to be honest.
I forgot to put it as a podcast on the stream.
Oh yeah, we're streaming under Fortnite right now.
I forgot. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay,
That's all right. I think I've done that before as well. Windstalker says oofer. What's up, Windstalker, in the chat? How you doing, my dude?
I just normally normally I do all that stuff with Restream. Like I update it all at once with Restream, so I don't usually worry about that.
Yeah.
But I've been doing just Twitch straight streams, and I just kind of brain
Yeah,
farted. I'm
you
like,
can
okay,
actually
change
set
the
that
title,
all
that's
up.
all say.
Huh?
I was just like, I changed the title, all right, and that's all I need to do, right?
Yeah. That's all right. Earlier on stream, I've been wearing my hat more often. I own like one hat, and it's that camo one. I've been wearing it a lot more because it's quarantine and I can't get a freaking haircut, so my hair's getting ridiculous. And on stream today, I started the stream wearing the hat. I went to an intermission because I had to go take a pee-pee tinkle, and I also wanted to check on the dog.
I have green
And when I
screen
came
cap
back,
and
I
just put it
forgot to
on.
put the hat on for like 20 minutes. So when I edit that, because I chop out the BRB screens, it's just gonna look like I cut to not wearing a hat randomly. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to put my hat on.
Anyway, yeah, Foxy says, how are you?
I'm doing good.
We're doing good. Any questions for, I almost said Scotty. Any questions for Nathan here? Feel free to put them in the chat. We'll get around to them as they come up.
He says he needs a mod as well, by the way.
Well, oh, he's, I think he's live streaming right now. Mixer.
Oh, okay, sweet.
He doesn't stream very consistently, so if you guys want to check that out in the YouTube video that this will be live on, I'll have that down there. He'll be live randomly. It's not that schedule, so I'll pop that up on my second monitor over here.
Yeah, you can actually do you can do restream like multicasting in Streamlabs itself. By the way, if you ever need to.
Yeah, I'm losing you. Hold on.
Me?
Hold on, guys. Moment.
Can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry, I was just having issues. I sorted them out.
It happens, man. It happens.
He went live 5 minutes. Is that okay
Gotcha.
if I send that link to you directly? You can check it out.
Me? Yeah, sure. I have a Mixer account, but I never use. Like, I streamed on it for a while, and I just don't mess with it anymore because I don't like the platform. Yeah. I ask what the Salaxon is thingy is at the end of all y'all's usernames, because it's Angel.
I'm not the only one that does that, that doesn't do that, but Salaxon is the RP last name of my girlfriend.
RP? What does that mean?
Roleplay shit. We have this whole family that's not related, so.
Okay. Gotcha. Hello, I am a podcast boy.
Pizza? Cool, can you bring it? I'm busy!
You got the greasy pizza.
Trying to be more consistent. Yeah. Trying to be more consistent on this stream.
Yeah, I just followed him, but I admit I'm not gonna probably
Probably not
keep it
gonna be
open.
popping on all out. I'm just gonna give
Yeah.
him all of my Sparkies.
Forgot that my offline image on Mixer when I did use it says Squidward's father never hugged him.
That
I forgot all about that.
his stream just went down.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Is it because y'all are both streaming in the same house?
Possibly. That's all my sparks.
All them sweet Sparkies.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So we've been recording for an hour. Back to my notes. Where are they? Sorry, I lost them. So as some of our viewers may know, and some of our viewers probably don't know, you have your own podcast or had your own podcast.
I
Right?
still have it. I just haven't done it in a long time.
Where could people possibly find your podcast?
Let me just make sure because I know the URL, but let me double check myself so I'm not giving y'all the wrong one. Let me open that tab up. Okay.
You can feel free to send it in PMs and I'll add it on the video.
Yeah, let me do that. It is anchor.fm/gamejuice I'm actually gonna do a video version of that, but it'll be sub only on Twitch as well.
Kind of similar to what we're doing here.
Yep. I'm gonna try and get people to come on with their actual face cams as well, but I did that for the first episode. I just don't know how well my computer can handle that. Because the way I did it last time was all weird, and I want to do it in a more easy, simple way.
You can click on like the voice channel and be able to get just the voice channel with the people's faces on. You're right.
Yeah, I know that, but I want to do the actual video. I've got a method of doing it. I just need to test it. I think it'll work.
All right. Well, that'll be fun. You could always invite me to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll probably have you on, and I want to have Scotty and my buddy Sifu on at some point.
Do you have merch? If not, have you ever thought about it?
Yes, I have a Teespring store.
Cool.
It's I think it's just Teespring. Yeah, let me copy paste that. It's teespring.com/store/natansamplegames.
Yeah, so
and I've also got it linked as a panel in my Twitch itself.
For people who are watching post recording, post stream, all this stuff will be down in the YouTube description for when it goes live.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if I remember that, hopefully.
I do that all the time.
Remember that shit, put it down, put it in a folder somewhere.
Yeah. What I normally do is when I say stuff like that, I'll literally just pause and be like, I'll type it in my notes app on my phone, like, remember to do this.
Cuts to me like fucking a week later, just editing this shit and just typing furiously on the keyboard.
Cuts to you a week later, sitting on the couch, eating some Lay's potato chips, watching like a sport game or whatever you watch, a comedy show or whatever. You're like, wait, I forgot to do that, and you hop up and run in here.
That'd be great.
I've had that happen on stream before, where I've been doing something randomly, and then I'm like, I was scheduled to stream right now. I hop up. Yeah, I have a schedule, but I actually try not to be as hard on myself as I used to. Like today I was an hour late because I overslept, and I'm like, it's close enough.
Close enough, yeah. Oh shit, I'm supposed to stream right now. Quick to the Nathan Mobile.
Well, dude, I used to take it way too seriously to the point where I made myself unhappy because I would have no sleep at all. I would lay down and almost fall asleep, and I'd be like, I need to stream. And I literally do that thing when you wake up and you go like, and I'd jump up and I'd put it on the countdown, and then I'd get ready, and then I would do a stream where I'm just angry and unhappy the whole time.
Oof, that's not fun.
Yeah, I do not do that anymore. If I'm just that tired, I just won't stream, or I'll do reruns or something.
Yeah, I also put in the notes to plug my own merch because my girlfriend makes the art for it. It's up there
Yeah.
above me for those people on stream, probably also on the recording.
Let me actually look at your merch store. I haven't done that. But yeah, she said she'd send me some sort of thingy. I don't remember what she said.
Yeah, she's working on a whole bunch of stuff. She's working on merch for Scotty as well. So she's
All
got
right,
a lot.
that's all
She's got a
really
lot on
nice
her plate right
looking.
now.
Yeah,
It's
it's
got my
really nice looking.
logo. It's got the Phoenix background drop.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting a mug for myself, one of my own mugs at some.
Yeah. The one complaint that I have about Teespring, I know I'm looking at Streamlabs store and I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm gonna keep my Teespring store. I used to have a Streamlabs merch store, and it may still be up, but the literal one complaint I have is that they don't make hats. They
Oh,
make everything else under the sun, but just not hats.
Yeah, Streamlabs makes hats.
Yeah. I stopped using Streamlabs because I submitted a bunch of merch there, and they just randomly took something down. And I asked them on Twitter, yo, what's the deal with this? Do I get copyright claim? They're like, nah, you just need to resubmit it. And I'm like, but why?
Some things changed the way that they're laid out. Like I had to redo the mug and stuff because they changed what they did.
That's what frustrated me is I feel like I like Teespring's tools for actually designing the merch better. It's much more like something similar to what I'm used to. It feels like using a light version of Photoshop or something. It's not that advanced, but it feels way easier to position things and move them around. And I remember using Streamlabs' thing, and if I have more than one layer, it's hell. I just can't do it. You have to Photoshop everything exactly how you want it, then upload it. And I was like, no, I just want to add the text here.
Yeah, now with the way that they have everything set up, in order to have like a Streamlabs merch store, you have to have the Prime for it. Get everything.
And that's another reason. I looked at that and I was like, what? Wait, what? I have to pay you to use the thing I've already got? No.
Well, it also gives you a whole bunch of other stuff, so it's not like you're just paying for that. Like, you get the ability to get stuff like what I have, this whole layout shit already pre-made, and other application boosts and stuff like that.
I may do that at some point in the future. It's just that like right now there are other things on my stream that I want to spend money on more than like a random subscription service. Like
yeah,
I want to like improve a couple different things. I want to like get some better lighting going at some point, and like I'm thinking more like practical types of things, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, I hope everybody's enjoying my voice right now. It's with my new microphone I just bought like 2 days ago, specifically to make sure that I had something for the podcast.
Sweet. Oh, Streamlabs added. I just opened Streamlabs as we were talking about that. They added a whole section for downloading and making panels.
Yep. They got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's super good. Yeah, like the biggest thing that Streamlabs does that with the Prime thing that I actually really like, you can just make a website with it.
Oh yeah, I have a website set up for it already, and I don't really use it, but if you use streamlabs.com/cym999, it will bring you to that general page. Or
yeah, that's like one of the things that probably will make me end up using Streamlabs, getting Prime at some point. It's just like there's just other things.
It's a nice, neat little bundle because you have tip page there, you have merch store there, and then you have a page that people go directly to watch your live stream.
Yeah, it's just kind of a one-stop shop sort of situation.
I'm hoping to be able to get back into the right headspace to do recordings and live stream relatively regular because I've just been not here for that stuff. I used to do it a lot. Like you look at any of my old stuff on my channel, I was trying to bang that shit out as often as possible, even if it meant doing minimal to no editing.
What I would say helps me, to be honest, because I edit everything I do, and I do a lot of like to be honest, I do a lot of work that no one else would ever really like care about anyways, but it just matters to me. What helps me is if I'm getting a little burned out, if I'm starting to get a little tired, I just quit for a couple days. I say, okay, guys, I'm taking some time off. That's what I did a couple days ago because I've been going hard for like 2 straight months, just about. I'm like, I got a bunch of crap piled up to edit. I'm also like, I did a Mario Monday stream and I was having a good time with it, but just that day I just wasn't feeling it. I was getting angry at the game and I'm just like, so I'm like, okay, guys, I'll take a few days off. And then I came back on Fortnite Friday and went strong and I enjoyed it. And
Man,
another
you
thing,
need to start getting some good quotes to put on your merch because just your logo is not great.
yeah. And like I've been thinking about that. I talked to Scotty about that literally yesterday. And the thing is, like, I have an entire page on my literal Discord filled with funny quotes, but none of these are marketable. None of these are things anyone would buy on a shirt. Here's one. I literally posted this as a meme. Heartwarming quotes, and these are quotes from me on stream. I'm a struggling dad mentally. Daddy, don't touch my skin pipe. Do you think God approves of a pig and a frog dating? It's just like my quotes
I've
are
seen
random.
your Twitter. Your Twitter is so off the wall sometimes.
That's why I like it.
Speaking of which, Nathan Samples Games on Twitter.
It's Nathan_sample on the Twitters.
Close enough.
Actually, I've got a link that just aggregates everything.
Also, he has a Discord, which everything goes there too. So.
Yeah, let me send you that in a DM. Actually, let me properly format it. I've been trying to get Scotty to make a streamer links page, and he hasn't done it yet.
I don't think I have one, but then again, I don't stream.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, if you click on that, it's got links to like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, merch store. It's every link that matters to my quote unquote brand. Quote unquote. I don't like saying like my brand.
I'll have to take a look at it later.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything else we really want to talk about right now, so I guess we go towards the of the loose notes. These things are like flopping all over the place. Side notes, add any filler, gaming news segments, breaks to chat with viewers if live, etc. Plug live streams, YouTube channels, Twitters, ask Q&A from the audience if they're live, or plug a Q&A for next stream, next podcast. Plug own merch, already did that. I think we've hit pretty much every note that's marked on here, other than just filling in random shit.
I think we didn't do the very last thing that says any suggestions or whatever.
Oh yeah, I was saving that for like the last thing to do. So.
Oh, okay.
That's why it says at the end before end. So.
Okay.
If there's any filler stories you want to put out there, feel free to.
I was born.
I was born in a small shack in the middle of nowhere.
Do you think anyone would buy a t-shirt that said some of the nonsense that I say? Because like Scotty's nonsense quotes are very, very like
his
marketable, and mine are just.
You gotta be just really
his are like
tired.
verbal blunders.
You just gotta be really tired. Like I'm gonna put your butt in your butt.
Okay, here's literally a message from my Discord from like a couple months ago. This is one of my moderators, Criollo, who listened to these are all from the exact same stream, by the way. Okay, let me read some of these. The baby is kicking. The baby is absolutely kicking. Sonic, I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. Sonic is Hitler, everybody. I'm gonna tear my damn stomach out because it's pissing me off. Hey, baby, let me lick your thigh lids with my nipples.
I like that one.
I watch woman get pee-pee put inside for the article.
That is such an off-the-wall one that I feel like
I'm imagining someone taking that clip out of context now. I watch woman consume cereal and milk as woman eats baby carrot. When does the prank end and reality begin? I know the jokes I'm saying are immature, but you don't know me. These are all from the same stream. Keep that in mind. All from the same one. The most romantic thing you can do when you're married is rub your shins together and scream. That's the American dream. That's been my dream since I was a little boy.
I feel like some of these quotes, like, there's at least two of them that are really great. Like, you could totally put them on merch, and somebody would look at that, like, put it on the back of a shirt. Somebody reads that and goes, what the fuck?
I was playing a video game, A Likely Story. We are the future mods of America. We stand up. That's me talking to my mods. No, this isn't okay. But I don't think being an insane person is healthy at all. I can still spit more crackling naughty hot fire. Here's another message he sent the same day from the same stream, and he says Nathan's longest quote. And he sat there and watched back my stream archive to get this quote. What would you do if Bob Ross had no eyes and he came out from under your bed at night and he bled on you and tried to rub moisture on your legs? Just like pure moistury water droplets right on your sweet puddingy legs. And if you are wondering what that means, it means your legs had the physical properties of pudding. Hello, my name is Granny Pudding Legs. Welcome to the joys of painting. Today I'm going to drizzle. I'm going to scream and wheeze and talk about circus fleas. I'm so stinky, papather. Why does no one ever buy me steak knives? I asked for those for Christmas 3 years ago, but my son Dilbert saith no. And I'm like, screw you, Dilbert. I'm a grown woman. I can buy a steak knife if I want. And he says, no, you don't have the funds for it, mother. And I'm like, no. Why can't I make decisions for myself? I'm 68.
God, that sounds like listening to that just reminds me of the motherfucking Spider-Man. You put in the time, put in the time.
It does. That's literally the longest quote he's ever posted for me in the Discord. Here's one more thread of him quoting me. Here's a bunch of quotes from I think again, all of these I've read exact same stream. Every one of these so far, and I think this is also the same one. Commit no longer alive, please. All a small boy needs is a barrel of knives and 1,000 wives. That's what the oldies used to say. Time to grab your thick daddy chung. Don't scream into anus. I'll chop your sonicy wee-wee off.
What the
I was
fuck
born
were
in
you
a butthole.
playing?
What?
What the fuck were you playing? Sonic
Heroes.
That sounds like something fucking from Sonic Dreamscape or whatever the fuck that game is.
I was playing Sonic Heroes, and when I get pissed off at games, I just scream gobbledygook if I'm super pissed. So I'm just doing that in a lot of these quotes, like Sonic, I'm gonna cut your thick daddy chung off.
God,
don't scream into anus. I'll chop your Sonic-y wee-wee off. There's an example. I was born in a butthole. No throw me down the epic stairmaster. A boy without a banana is like a soup without seasoning. And just to add context to that one, I started to make a perverted joke where I'm like, a boy without a banana, and then I'm like, it sounds weird because I'm saying a boy and not a man. I don't know, for some reason that sounded weird to me. So I paused, I'm like, like a soup without seasoning. No one knows the great sacrifice of the couch ram. Mr. Platform, bring me a dream. Don't bring poop on a basket of clovers. You can take a dump in the kitchen sink. We don't have working toilets here. And then a bond happened like no other. Just the scream
Sonic
of
Heroes,
us.
and I can't even imagine half of the moments you were at when you were saying
scream
this
it
shit.
If we scream. Just the scream of us. Has anyone ever bought a garage at a garage sale? All I have to do is kill a man. I'm gonna shuckle on your eyeballs, boy.
I've played
and
Sonic
I think
Heroes.
that's the last one.
I have played Sonic Heroes, and half of that shit, I can't even bring context to where the fuck you were in the game when that shit was happening. The Sonic fans who were at least in the Sonic Heroes story. That's all I got.
Sonic Heroes is a fun game, but it's really, it pisses me off sometimes. So that's what it was. It was a lot of me just like being angry at the game and saying garbage.
I mean, I feel like if there's anything that you would make a shirt with, you just literally copy and paste all that text. Just put it
Oh
like
my god, just
tiniest
make it
font
like
on the
a
back of a
5-point
shirt.
font.
Yeah, put it
5-point Comic Sans font with that whole long Bob Ross quote.
exactly.
Here's a conversation I had with one of my mods the other day on well, actually, I take that back. That was far from the other day. This was in April. So it
Other
feels
day,
like the
you
other
know, a
day.
month ago.
Yeah, he says, I do that all the time where I'm like, the other day, and then I think about it, I'm like, no, that was like 2 months ago because it feels like the other day to me. Because I'm on Discord all the freaking time.
Yeah.
One of my mods says, it is time. And then he shares this screenshot that says, if you woke up and Baby Yoda was standing over you chanting, then your penis sucked back inside of your body and you became a woman, how loud would you scream? And I have an image of Baby Yoda saying, Papather. And I said, lol. And then he shared a screenshot of himself saying something, and it says, I'm going to confront you with your penis quote 5 months from now. And I said, lol. And he said, I did as promised. And I said, but did you get the 7 Chaos Emeralds? And his response was, Nathan?
Oh, no.
I love like the hesitation in the second response, like, but like I think he's upset, mildly upset because I wasn't impressed by him posting a quote 5 months later. He sat on a joke for months, and my response was, "But did you get the 7 Chaos Emeralds?"
I feel like his exact facial expression was a ha. You know that
I
meme
think
with the
so
finger? He's
too.
just like, well, it's like comes up with a response. It's like, I don't have a response for that. Like,
It
yes!
was really funny
No.
because I swear I probably just killed his vibe completely with that. He's like, he's so impressed I remembered the bit, and I'm like, but did you get the Chaos Emeralds? Oh god, there's so many gems on my Discord server that I love so much, dude. The other day, this is something I posted. What'd you do if your dad stole your jorts and replaced them with a jar of mayonnaise? Eat the mayonnaise, says Shrek.
I've seen
What would you
some.
do if you walked in on Goofy slathering Donald Duck in mayo as a statement against culture?
Speaking of fucking weird shit, I feel like still one of the fucking greatest things to come out of GTA with Scotty was the whole I don't remember the context of this, but basically, they were talking about food and shit and being fat, and then just
Yeah.
the comment was like, "What would you do if you woke up one day and you turn over and fucking Dusty is just sitting there with a Big Mac and munching on a Big Mac next to you?" And I think Dusty just shouted out in the background, "You gotta finish that."
Yeah.
And then, and
Holy
then
crap, dude.
and then Scotty was like, "No, it's like more like you better brought it up for me too."
Holy crap.
Some of the shit that comes out of their mouth is just like, well, fuck. That was not what I
Yeah.
expected.
Dude, my favorite bit that I've done with Scotty is whenever I started calling him Pee Boy randomly. Like when we first started streaming together for that first month, I tried to purposely troll him with every stream opener. So we would be in the middle of a convo on the Discord, and I'd hit the go live button, and I'd be like, "So what you're saying is you can't sing the song Captain Jack without being naked?" And then they'd get the notification, they'd start laughing, like, "Come on, man." There was one time where I started the stream and I'm like, "What is up? It is me, Nathan Sample in the flesh, and here with me is Pee Boy." And Scott's like, "Yeah, it's Scotty Boy. No, Pee Boy." He's like, "Thank you, Nathan."
Yeah, you
And I
gotta
just
bring that
kept
back.
calling him Pee Boy and telling him he smells like pee over and over again.
I'm pretty sure he's forgotten about that by now. Just like next stream you have with him, it's just like, yes, it is me and my sidekick, Heide Penis Man.
Dude, like a couple streams ago, I went on this random tangent while talking to him about what the freak was it I said? I was trying to like come up with a funny bit, and sometimes I'm just at a loss, so I stream of consciousness it, and it ended up like making me laugh really hard. And I'm just like, well, Scott, did you know that everyone at Guitar Center is a prostitute? There's a
Oh
company
yes, I remember
policy.
that.
You remember that? Yeah.
That was like great.
And he got all defensive, and I'm like, look, man, you had to be a prostitute because you used to work at Guitar Center. It's just how it works.
He fingered all the instruments.
You know what it was? I was talking about how he has to rub his toe on people's willies as a part of the service. You can't deny a customer that at Guitar Center.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god, that was so fun.
What a fucking train wreck this last, like, what, 20 minutes has been?
I mean, it's been a fun train wreck, though. If a train wreck is fun and no one dies, is it really a train wreck?
I mean, technically it's still a train wreck. It's just a fun train wreck.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a train wreck, though.
That reminds me, right? This is going to be a really weird story, but...
Yeah.
Many years ago... hey, Ives. Many years ago, I was in a car accident with my family.
Yeah.
There was a car. It's really complicated, but there was a truck that was going backwards down the highway at highway speeds.
Backwards down the highway.
Yeah, it was going backwards down the highway in the shoulder lane because tire issues or some shit. It's really hard to remember exactly what happened, but it was going backwards, and it was going like 60 miles an hour roughly. And then all of a sudden it shot across the lanes and fucking hit the side of our van. Because we were going, I think we were going up north to visit my grandparents at the time. But yeah, hit the side of our van like 90-degree woof right across.
That sounds like someone who's drunk, not like someone who's having tire issues to me.
Well, when we actually, after everything happened, it felt like we rolled over or some shit. But like everybody was perfectly fine, maybe like a little bit of soreness and I remember a lot of shit from that little like 5 seconds that the fucking car was going all over the place. But
the world went in slow motion, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like the world had gone slow motion, but like I remember the dog slid to the side, hit the seat, jumped up in the air a bit, and then landed back on his feet. And then my dad looked like he was like having a freak out session. Hold on, ah! My mom whipped about a bit. My brother was on the DS, I think, or Game Boy Advance at the time, and he's just like straight up like locked in as he's like swinging all over the place. He's
not paying any attention as the car's flipping around.
No, he's literally just like straight on his game the whole way through, like not even giving a fuck.
That's a dedicated gamer, dude.
He was just gaming the whole time, and I'm just like, wow,
I'm gonna game till the very end.
Like, well, this is something. And then the moment that everything comes to halt, then he closes the SD and sits it down. He looks around and there he's just like, gets out of the car.
He had no idea what happened, did he?
He knew what happened. Like, he was aware, but like the way it looked was fucking hilarious. And then he gets out, he's like, let's do it again.
Oh my god.
Like, holy shit, this was fucking nuts.
My sister got into a car wreck she wasn't hurt at all. She got into a car wreck last year, the year before. And the car that she got into a wreck with was like, it was one of those trucks that had a U-Haul attached to the back of it, so they were moving. They had banners all over the car that says, Jesus loves you, Jesus, God, Jesus, like... Here's the thing, I'm a Christian, but like these were crazy Christians, okay? These were the crazy form of religious people. And my sister like could have died, but she was fine. But her car was totaled and unrepairable. These assholes get out of the car and they start yelling, get away from me in the name of God, get away from me in the name of Jesus. And they won't talk to her, they won't give her their information. It's their fault. And literally, like, it was the most insane crap to hear, because if I was there, I probably would have come up to them and smacked him in the mouth or something like that.
Oh yeah,
made my blood boil to hear, especially as a religious guy. I'm like, that is not how Jesus would want you to respond when you almost kill someone, you asshole.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Anyway, another side point is that my brother's name is Nathan.
Oh, sweet.
Nathaniel, but everybody calls him Nathan. So I thought that was just a funny little side note to mention.
Dude, I had a friend. I went to the same church, the same one me and Scotty went to for about 8 or 9 years before I moved, and literally the entire time I went there, my actual name is Nathan. Like that's my actual name. It's not Nathaniel. And there was just a guy who met me at church. He's an older gentleman, a veteran. He always sat up there in the balcony with me, and he saw me a lot because we do sound up in the balcony. When he first met me, he said, "Oh, your name is Nathaniel, right?" And I'm like, "Well, no, it's Nathan." And he didn't remember, and so he kept calling me Nathaniel. I corrected him 2 or 3 times, and I got sick of doing it. So for 8 years, he called me Nathaniel every single Sunday and Wednesday. Every time he saw me, "What's up, Nathaniel?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, how you doing?" And I just remember like thinking about how hard it would screw with his head if right before I left the church, because I planned on doing it, just going up to him like the week before I leave and just going like, "By the way, you've been calling me Nathaniel for 8 years and my name isn't Nathaniel, it's Nathan," and seeing how he responded.
Oh yeah, some people are just forgetful, and some
Yeah,
people
and
don't want to be nice or don't want to be mean and like
yeah,
saying no, that's not my name or some shit. They'll just let you play along with it. Like there's been people who've literally been like friends with a person for years and called them by a name that wasn't even their name, and the person just went
yeah.
along with it. And eventually, like
I
one of those years, is just like, by the way, you've been calling me the wrong name this entire time. They're just like, what?
yeah, my great uncle who unfortunately like passed away like I don't know, like 6 years ago. We always called him Uncle Bubba as a kid. Okay, we called him Uncle Bubba because that's what we knew him as. That's what my mom called him. My sister called him. I called him. Our cousin Josh called him that. And
My name is
one day
Larry.
when I had got, what was that?
My name's Larry, not Bubba.
Well, no, his name was Jerry actually, so you're close. His name was Jerry. But
just a fucking oddball. Eh, maybe just random name, and it's like, all right, that's kind of close. Like, well, fuck.
it is. His name was Jerry. But he was once I got a little bit older. He's my great uncle, right? And he was actually pretty cool. He liked me, and he was very nice to me a lot. He let me. He was the one of the ones that were. He was instrumental in getting me into video games because I would go to his house and play Mario 64 and play Crash Bandicoot, and that's what got me really into gaming. Because I had a Genesis before, but I played it a bit.
Hmm.
But when I got like 14 or 15, I remember sitting down with him, and he was much more honest with me then. We're having a conversation, and he's like, that's what happened. His grandson walked up, which was, that wouldn't be my nephew, it'd be my cousin, I think, walked up, or it wouldn't be a great, I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting
It
into
doesn't
semantics.
matter.
Yeah, his grandson walked up to him and called him Grandpa Jerry. And I'm like, why doesn't he call you Grandpa Bubba or something like that? And he's like, because I hate the name Bubba, Nathan. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I never knew. And he's like, no, it's fine. I let you and your sister and everyone call me that because that's what you know me as, but I hate the name Bubba. It sounds redneck. I'm like, oh, well, do you care if I keep calling you that since it's weird to change it after this long? He's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. You're not doing it to mock me, but I hate that name.
Yeah, it's like
And
it's
it
like
was
my
such like
grandfather.
a, huh?
My grandfather, right? His name is Rocky, and I was
Literally
always
Rocky?
yeah. His name is Rocky, and his
Alright.
son's name is Rocky. I always knew my uncle as Rocky. I didn't know my
Uh-huh.
grandfather as Rocky. And when I was younger, like 3 to 5 years old, I
Yeah.
I couldn't pronounce Grandpa, so I ended up
Uh-huh.
calling him Pump Pump, and that has
Pump
stuck.
Pump?
Yes, Pump Pump, and that has stuck. That has stuck all the way through my life. And when I found out his name was Rocky, I was like, "What? Wait, but he's Rocky, but you're Rocky? What?" And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep calling you Pump Pump. You're Pump Pump to me.
Yeah.
You're always gonna be Pump Pump to me, even when I'm fucking like 40, 50 years
70.
old. You're still gonna be
Well,
Pump Pump.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I'm like, look, man, I now understand and I'm sorry, but I'm not changing it. And he's like, that's fine. I don't care.
Like my best friend Robert. I always called him Bobby. It was his nickname, and that's what his nickname was, and it always stuck as Bobby to me. Even when I found out his name was Robert, and we got older. Sometimes I call him Robert. Most of the time I call him
Bobby's
Bobby.
short for Robert. That was one of my grandparents' name was Bobby, and that's what my mom. She had a tattoo on her arm of the name Bobby for him.
Other people, like, as he got older, other people started calling him Robert, where me, it's like, anytime he heard Bobby, he knew it was more likely not me, because I'm the only fucking idiot who still calls him Bobby, even when we're nearly 18 years old.
All right, Angel in chat says, that reminds me of my best friend's grandparents. She was staying with them, an ex-friend of the area, was against dating anyone.
I'll read it out. So it's Ugg. That reminds me of my best friend's grandparents. She was staying with them. An ex-friend of ours was against dating anyone, and they said he went to the wrong church and such. Of it, heck, they would throw my friend out of the house if they found out if she was bi. I think she meant found out she was bi. They're crazy. The only a man that only a man and woman can be together. Gotta go to church on Sundays. Blah blah blah. You know, all the things that people say that if you don't do, you're a sinner.
Yeah. Here's my thing as an actually religious person. Every human being on the face of planet Earth is actually considered a sinner. That is one of the things about Christianity, and it's actually one of the things that bothers people. It's not
the Bible
that Christians
literally says that Jesus died for our sins, so that way we could go to heaven. Not, that we weren't sinners. Everybody is a sinner, and because of Jesus dying, you get to go to heaven. That's basically what he
and that's
said.
the thing. Like, everyone is technically a sinner, and that's the point of the religion: is you're a sinner. You're not better than anyone. You're not perfect, and you need Jesus.
Basically,
that's why.
Basically, God said, I made these mistakes, but they're my mistakes, and everything that comes after them is also my mistake. So instead of sending you all to hell because I made you as a mistake, you can still come to heaven even if you're a mistake.
I wouldn't use the words we're mistakes, but yes, basically.
Well, mistakes is quote, quote, as in like everybody has flaws, everybody will be flawed because it was created to be flawed.
Exactly. Yeah, I hate them. Luckily, she moved out before the, I guess that's supposed to be safe find out?
Before they found out.
God darn send button.
Yeah. So, from what I get of it, all right, here's my personal opinion on the whole thing, is that if it exists, it means that God made it exist. Meaning that you can't say that if, bi people and all this stuff are, not created by God, because if it was not created by God, would it still be here? He created everything, including the devil, so you can't say the devil made it because the devil was created by God. Meaning, God can be both good and evil, technically. He is the balance, in essence.
I would disagree with the part where you say God can be good or evil.
Well, not God.
What
God
I believe it is God created the angels and he created people. And I don't want to get too deep into this because I don't want to offend anyone.
I say he is balance. He is the creation force that keeps everything in check. Basically, he doesn't really do anything. That sounds fair. Everything else work.
But just so I can get this out there, God created the angels, and Lucifer was an angel. He gives people and angels free will to choose things, and they can choose to screw up and do what they want, or do this or do that, or they can choose to do what he says they should do. And that's generally the concept of sin. And no one can be without sin. It's just reality.
Sin is a part of what makes everybody person. You wouldn't be a person if you didn't have sin.
You would be a robot who follows rules.
Beep boop. I am robot.
And that's a problem a lot of religious people get, is they like to see everything as a rule. Like, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this. And it's like everyone does it in some capacity. Everyone makes mistakes.
There are sins.
If you're following life like a rule book, you're going to fail,
Commandments are, by God's own design, meant to be something that should be followed roughly, not followed to the exact, because there are some things that don't exactly work with every scenario.
Yeah, there is a lot of gray in life as well.
Like, if you think about it, if you really go down the real long trail, technically you could say that in any case, either the sins or the commandments are truly the worser of the two. It really just depends on the scenario.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the circumstance, obviously. Like, if
Like,
someone, there's lots of situations where, like, you have to lie to protect someone, for example, and stuff like that, and that's technically a sin. It's like,
yeah, exactly. It's
it,
all contextual, which is why I kind of
yes,
like the whole idea.
exactly. It's contextual. That's the
I,
best way that can be put.
Yeah, that's why I like how they did it with Seven Deadly Sins, and that's why I really like the anime because it says, yeah, these things that are normally associated with the good guys is not always the good guys because the sins are
Yeah.
the bad, quote quote, bad guys, but the sins are not the ones who are at fault.
Angel says, anyways, they'd control her even though she was 18 or older, would just do everything to keep her from boys and keep her from having fun. It was so bad that me and this ex-friend helped sneak her out. Yeah, to be honest with you, am I hearing myself echo or is that someone else?
That might be the TV in the background.
Oh, I think that's the TV then.
Yeah, it's not being
But
picked up on the recording or stream, but might hear a little
okay,
bit.
it may just be the Discord then.
Yeah.
But what was I getting at? I actually there was a girl that I liked at my old church who was really nice, and she was kind of into me for a while. And then I hated her freaking brother with a passion, and I was just honest with him, and she ended up hating me for a while, like after that. But this actual girl blindly followed her dad and her brother to the point where I was hanging out with her and her family at a church trip once, and we hung out at someone's house. Then we all got in the church van and drove somewhere else. And her parents called her on the phone and said, our track your iPhone thing says you're going somewhere else. Where are you going? Like, they literally called her to see where she was going because they're tracking her. And I remember looking
That
at
is
her.
extreme.
I looked at her and said, that's really weird. Like, really weird and controlling. And
Like,
she
I can
got all.
understand for a younger child having something like that going
She
on,
was
but
literally 21 or 22.
yeah, once you get past like 16, maybe that's a little bit extreme, you know?
And that's all I was saying was I'm like, that's really weird and controlling. And her brother, like, this guy hated my guts, and I get it because his sister liked me for a little bit, so it's fine. But he
Good on
literally
him.
turned to me and gave me a dirty look, like what I was saying was somehow in any way unreasonable. I wasn't
Yeah.
saying just go around and be an idiot and walk around in dangerous places alone with no phone. I'm just saying
No,
that's creepy as hell. We're just in a car going to. We were literally going to like eat somewhere.
We're
We're
going
going
to
to like Burger King or
McDonald's.
something. We're going to like Burger King or McDonald's or something. And then we're going to play frisbee or something at a park. And her parents are like, "Are you okay? What's the matter? Where are you going?" And I'm like, "That's bad. That's really weird."
That's over
Because
the
like
top.
here, dude, like I live with my parents, and if I'm out for hours, if I'm like I've gone to church trips where I'm gone for like till like 1 a.m. and they'll text me like, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Okay, be sure to the door's locked, so when you come home, unlock it. Like, that's the extent of it for me, and it's like that's fine. You're just worried about me. Her parents were like, "Where are you? We're tracking you right now." It's like, good God, you crazy people.
I just got sent a messenger. Fucking hilarious.
What is it?
The ass is better. No, tits are better. They're going to war, and it's just like, lesbians and gentlemen, we can all agree on one thing. Thighs.
I think both are good.
I know, but just the image
Yeah.
is just great.
Yes. Yep, yep. As the
Everybody's got
oldies
those.
say, thick thighs save lives. Gosh darn it, phone. Dang it, phone. I'm gonna tan your hide, boy.
Damn it, phone. Why you gotta go and do this? Oh,
Dang it, Bobby, that boy is not correct.
I sell cocaine and cocaine accessories.
That boy has various defective parts. My phone's acting up as I'm trying to type. Yeah, Twitch's app is sometimes really dumb, to be honest.
Everything's buggy. It's called electronics for a reason.
Yeah, dude, did you see what YouTube did with their comment section, by the way?
What did they do this time? Oh my god.
Please open your mobile app, go to any YouTube video that's kind of big, and look for the comment section real quick. Just do it. This is an experiment.
My phone is too fucking stupid to be able to do that.
Okay, well, basically, you know how on a mobile app you'll scroll down and all the comments are just there below a video? They're all just there. They removed that, and now if you scroll down to where the comments was, it's like, no, we moved it. Click this to take you to the comments. And it takes you back up to the top right below the video, and there's this teeny tiny strip where it shows the top comment and nothing else. And then you have to click on it, and it shows you the whole comment section. You have to click, like, 2 times to get to comments.
What?
And then if you want to close the comments, you have to close it with the little X thing in the corner.
YouTube is just trying to streamline everything for the fucking old people that are, like, running the show in the background.
But here's the thing. If you look at that, that is way more complicated than just, like, scrolling down a bit.
Oh, shit.
That's my issue with YouTube. That's half of the reason why I stopped streaming there, and now I just post things when I feel like it there. Because when you go to YouTube, they won't leave things alone for 5 minutes. Twitch will make changes and they'll remove features, but it took them years to refresh the entire UI, and even then, it's mostly okay. They didn't remove a lot. They added stuff.
How long ago did the bell come in? Like, when was it that you'd actually get your?
That was like
shit?
2013, 14, I think.
Okay, if I had to go roughly back to a time of YouTube that I would say was probably the best setup for it, was probably 2010 when fucking everything still worked properly and they didn't have the subs broken, the feed broken. You need the bell icon. Your bell icon won't show you everything. The bell icon now has selective setting, but it's also buggy as shit. Like, the thing
to
is
me,
with the
it's
bell
between
icon,
the years of 2010 to like 2013, 2012.
The thing about the bell
because
icon,
when
though,
you
that's
subscribe
really
to someone, go on. What was that?
The bell icon. The thing about it that's really annoying is that the some posts doesn't do anything. The some post is basically just saying it's mute, but it pretends to be not mute.
Oh, man, it's so freaking dumb. Like,
it's either you get everything or you get nothing, and it's like,
literally, here's my thing. I think YouTube has always had their own plans and their own things that they've wanted to do with the platform that creators didn't want. Because I remember back in 2008, really early on in YouTube's life, people boycotted YouTube because they wanted to censor people's speech. They wanted them to stop cussing because it hurt advertisers' feelings.
Honestly,
that's
at
real.
some point they just gotta say fuck it to the advertisers and back their community, because their community is what brings them the views. They need the views to be able to make the money. So if the advertisers get, their ads posted on stuff they really don't fucking want, they're gonna have to say just fucking deal with it at this point, because eventually it's gonna lose YouTube more money to side with the advertisers, and that's the biggest point everybody's been trying to bring up.
And here's what I'm also getting at is around that time, YouTube has kind of tried to like nudge creators with things like that. Like in 2008, there was a big boycott where people were like, I'm not uploading to YouTube. They want us to start bleeping our cuss words, and that's not right. There was this big movement to stop them from censoring people. And that happened in 2008, and there's been little moments here and there where they nudge creators like, well, you should probably do this instead. And then in like 2013, they just said, fuck it, and did everything they wanted to do. They added this stupid bell. They changed everything at some point around that time. It wasn't that time exactly.
They also
added, they changed it where it's all watch time.
Back. They added and then removed and then added back and then removed private messaging.
Yeah, they did that. They added the notification bell that doesn't freaking work ever. They changed everything to focus on watch time.
It works, but it only works for everything. If you try to only have some, you're going to get nothing. If you put mute, you're going to get nothing. So it's either everything or nothing. There is no in between, even though it says there's
Angel has something she was saying in chat. If you want to read that.
But they're gonna keep sliding. The advertisers, they can keep sliding with the advertisers. Heck, you curse or and such, you can get demonetized. Well, yeah, you can still get demonetized
Yeah.
sometimes for cursing. And yeah, they're probably for a little bit longer. We can't say for how long that's longer, but probably 2021 might be seeing YouTube siding more so with the creators. Who knows? But yeah.
That's the thing that I'm waiting for, and I've lost faith at this point. My thing with YouTube is they find interesting new ways to give people what they want, but then ruin it. So,
YouTube
for
is
example,
hate
like
this video. Actually, YouTube
what?
isn't even gonna watch. I'm like, YouTube is gonna hate
Yeah.
this video, and then I realized, you know what? YouTube isn't probably even gonna notice this because this is at the end
algorithm
of the podcast.
may hate the video, to be honest.
Well, this is towards the end of it, and the algorithm always checks like the first 5 minutes, and then like pretty much nothing else.
I mean, that's also like she says in chat, they don't even have dark mode working correctly. That's one huge thing that pisses me off about YouTube as well, is they don't commit to literally anything. I think Google Stadia is done wrong, but it could be fixed. But even if they fix it, I'm never going to use Google Stadia because I don't trust that Google's even going to stick with it. They're going to throw it out the window once they're like, oh, it isn't working. Okay, we could work on this, or we could say screw it.
Yeah, it's just going to lose the money. So.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
Yeah, Angel had a story that she posted in the chat. Anyway, the story reminded me of a dad who did the r/I am I the butthole, and he put a secret phone in his daughter's car to keep track of her, and ended up finding out she was sneaking into a gay bar with a friend who hadn't come out to his family yet. The worst part is her dad brought her friend's dad so he put her friend on blast. He wasn't ready to come out yet. So basically, forced the guy to come out.
That's not cool.
Not right.
Yeah,
am I in the butthole? That is not even a question. Like,
he is straight up the butthole, dude.
If you're posting that, like honest to God, if you're posting that on r/I am the butthole, 90% of the time, if you're posting
that
something
shouldn't
on there,
even
you
be a
are
question.
Exactly. Like you don't even need an answer to that question. If you're posting on there, more likely than not, you are exactly the butthole.
There's occasions where I see things people post on there where they're like, someone is just being an asshole and they respond to it appropriately. Like they have to be rude. Like there's sometimes in life you have to be the quote unquote butthole. You have to be.
Yeah, I'm not saying that everything on there, but I'm saying like 80 to 90% of the shit that gets posted on there is usually exactly that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, he said he snuck a secret phone in there. That's what a certain member of my family did to stalk my mom.
Ooh.
Literally, this person put a phone in my mom's car and stalked her, and then like is her ex-husband. One day I was sitting there like in my room while they were both at work, and he texts me on my phone, says, "You better start packing your stuff, Nathan. I just caught your mom cheating on me. And I know because I've got proof from tracking software." And he's like one of those crazy redneck guys who's like, "You can take my guns when you get them out of my cold, dead hands." He's one of those guys.
Oof.
He didn't act like that when they got married. So he just I think he had mild schizophrenia or something.
Sounds like
but he's a freaking crazy person.
But...
Well, he never acted like that. The worst thing he did, and this actually like ruined my trust of him and my respect. He was never like that towards her. He was like that towards me. He threatened me a lot when we moved in together, and I kind of ignored it for the most part. But we got into an argument once, and he came up to me and said, "You want me to kick you in the face, boy?" And crap like that. And he's like 60, so I thought really hard about being like, "Okay, do it. Let's see if you can even kick that high, boy. Come on, do it."
Yeah. Don't fuck with old people. Some of them, like my dad, could still kick someone's ass if he needs to.
He literally has a heart condition and diabetes.
Well, I mean...
And whenever he gets stressed out, he shakes violent. When he gets stressed out, he shakes violently because he has blood pressure issues and Parkinson's. He's really unhealthy. So I never wanted to fight him because I probably would hurt him really bad.
If he doesn't hurt himself, he might hurt you,
Yeah,
but he might also
but
hurt
he
himself in the
threatens. He
process.
he kept threatening me, and he threatened me with a taser and mace at one point because we were arguing, and I threw a bag of crackers on the floor. I'm not screwing with you. I threw a bag of crackers, and he came in and said, "I'll give you a face full of fucking mace if you don't pick that up." And that was the point where I was pretty much done with him.
Yeah, I can see that.
But basically, like, he did that to me for a long time, and I kind of ignored it for the most part because it's like, I'm not scared of him unless he has the gun specifically. He can freaking mace me, and I can still tackle him down. I don't care. But then he started threatening my mom, and that's when I got sick of it. I just remember this story because she's talking about putting a phone in people's cars.
Yeah. Anyway, we're at almost the 2 hour mark. So do you want to keep
Yeah.
going, or you want to call it here?
Honestly, I don't have a whole lot else to say at this point.
All right. Well, we can.
Yeah, I watch
If you ever
r
find
slash
anything,
slash, so I hear quite a few stories. Gotcha.
yeah. If you ever if you ever want to just come on and just chit chat like we did again, feel
Yeah.
free to give me a little show chit chat over on Discord. And
I mean, that's what I love about my streams is I just, unless I'm playing like a story game like Final Fantasy earlier, I just keep the voice chat open for the most part.
heck, if you ever feel like it, we could make this a more regular thing where you and me interview someone else.
I could do that. I mean, I've got my own podcast if you want to just start joining me on that when I do
Oh,
it.
sure, why not? Just
All
need to
right.
make sure I'm up. I've been having issues with getting up before 10 lately, so.
Yeah, that sounds good. Angel says thank you to everyone who popped in. Indeed, indeed. Thank you,
Yeah, there's been
everybody.
a few people popping in, popping through now.
Yeah,
And
popping out like babies.
thank you to those people who are going to be watching this after it gets posted on YouTube. I think my view count has my subscriber count has actually dropped quite a bit. Like I think I'm at 144 last time. This might not
Let
go
me
up right
actually
away, but
look. What are you actually at?
last time I checked, I was at 144, which was like ago.
Yeah, you're at 144.
I was at
If it makes you feel
145.
better, if it makes you feel better at all, I literally my YouTube channel has been like up and down for forever because I used to stream on it. And so people who subscribe for streams, and then I stopped posting those and doing those on there. So now I upload a video and it gets some views and it gets some comments, but like my sub counts are like up down up down up down. Like I was at 233 for like 2 months, then it dipped down to 229, then it hopped back up, and then it went down. And for the first time in forever, because I cleaned up my whole channel and now I know exactly what I want to do with it, it's finally a little bit higher than that. It's at 236.
I might just post the podcast early. I might probably gonna. I feel like posting it early wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So
She says, "I'm sorry I wasn't on sooner. I
Yeah, no,
wasn't
it's
feeling so
fine.
hot and took a nap." I mean, literally, I wasn't on sooner either. We were supposed to do this at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
and I fell asleep on them.
I feel like it's better to do it later on anyway, because you got everybody kind of loosens up as the.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Like, I do most of my streams in the morning, but that's my favorite thing about doing random late night stuff is like, you don't really feel the need to be as like, "What's up, everybody? I'm having a great time playing this awesome game." I can just be like, "Hey, what's up, everyone? Playing a game, having fun, whatever."
Yeah, I did have had a few podcasts before this on YouTube, which was cymcast as they call it.
Yeah, I
I
mean
might
that's not a bad name.
I might call it the late night, the late nights.
Dude, that's not a bad idea. Just doing like, I may do that with my podcast. Just do it late at night since it's way more chill. Because I tried to do it like midday before, and I can't get in the mindset correctly.
Yeah, it's much better to do it later on because kind of doy out and just have a good time, chit chat like we were.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you to those people who have been popping into the live stream. Do we want to set like a time for this? Maybe we can do one once a week or some shit.
Yeah, sure. What we can do is you can do your podcast on this end maybe, and then I can just be like maybe I can do like the Game Juice podcast so we can have two different angles or something. I
Yeah.
wish affiliates had squad streaming. I'd just straight up do it that way.
Yeah.
Like we can have your camera angle than mine and just be like, welcome to the Game Juice podcast on his end. There's Sim if you want to check him out. There's his channel link or something like that. Yeah.
Cymcast over here on YouTube. Also being streamed on Twitch. Yeah.
Stream. You should check out Streamlabs' way to restream. That may work better. I don't know.
I mean, the only thing you can do for that is currently Twitch and Facebook last.
Oh, you can't do YouTube? That's stupid.
No, not yet at least. Last time I checked it, I only had those two.
Okay, well then, that's stinky.
But yeah, Cymcast currently live. We can do this like, well, you decide the time, and then I'll put it in the down below description when you feel like it would be best. Cause this whole like 8 o'clock, like 8, 9 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 p.m. sounds good to me.
EST.
It's like
here.
10 for me right now. I'm CST, but like whatever 8 o'clock would be.
8 o'clock for you would be 9 o'clock for me. So 9 o'clock EST, 8 o'clock Central Time. Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
So like what, Saturdays? That's like a thing. So that way people who aren't subscribed or like VIP or stuff still have something they could watch on Saturdays from too.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, sounds like a good thing. Maybe next time we'll get Scotty in here.
Yeah, I think he texted me earlier and said he was driving and he can't do it right now or something.
Well, we'll see if we can get him in for the next one. If not, LB, me, you, maybe some random person that we pick. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get my buddy Nathan Sifu on if I can.
That way we can have Nate and Nate.
Yeah, that's a joke I make every time we stream together is we're the two Nathans, and all we need to do is get one or two more and we can be a trio or a quartet of Nathans.
You can be the 3 Nate Skideers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, with that said, and we can finally get to our last little bit of the note, any suggestions to aspiring streamers / YouTubers out there? Nate, seems how you were pretty big on at least.
Yeah. Don't force yourself to do something that you don't like, even if it's getting you viewership. Because the thing is, it may get you viewership, and that's something you want, but you're going to be miserable. You're going to be deeply unhappy, and then your audience is going to get to expect that thing. You want to build the audience that you want to have.
Don't forget to take breaks.
Yeah, don't forget to take breaks as well. But for example, my schedule is Mario, I play Dauntless, I play Fortnite. These are all games I know I like. And that's why I play them. And what he said, don't forget to take breaks. And don't do what I used to do. I used to stream constantly and force myself to do it when I wasn't feeling it and make myself miserable doing it back when I was on YouTube. Because YouTube's all algorithm based and they want you to be consistent. That made me really stressed out. Instead, it's better to just like do it as much as you can, and when you start feeling fatigued, not when you're burned out, when you start to feel tired, take a couple days off. That's what I did this week. I felt a little stressed and tired, and I'm like, okay, gonna take a couple days off, came back strong. And also, don't be afraid to use features that other people don't use on Twitch. Don't be afraid to try new things. I was told by literally... Huh?
Be creative.
Yeah, I was told by literally everyone that reruns suck, they're a bad idea, they're a bad feature, and I've gotten so many followers from reruns, and it's also just what I want to do.
Yogscast does their own special version of reruns, which gets them quite a bit of views too. They just like post their videos there from YouTube for people to be able to like mass select what they want to watch, and it's kind of like a big big event kind of.
Who does?
The Yogscast. They're
okay. I'll have to look into them then.
Yeah, they started out with just 2 people, but now look at them. They got a whole like 15, 30 person working cast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow them and check them out. I know they're Minecraft guys,
They used to
but
be a
yeah, like
lot more so Minecraft, but they've gotten more into. They've spread out. Like they have
yeah,
individual channels doing their own things, and they have the main channel, which has been a lot of TTT and other stuff back
yeah.
to back.
Okay. But yeah, don't be afraid to like go against the grain because everyone told me not to do reruns. Don't be afraid to try things as long as you know, you're doing what you want to do. Because I also do sub only streams and I talked to a couple people before I did them and they're like, I hate sub only streams because what happens for me is I've popped into someone's stream while they were doing a sub only stream and I couldn't talk to them without paying. And this is the way that I do it. It's not about getting people to pay for you or to pay you or whatever. It's about rewarding people who are loyal, whether that be someone who watches consistently or someone who just like subscribed. That's what it's about for me is like I VIP anyone who subscribes so after they lose their subscription, if they don't have the money to resub to me, they can just watch it. And I VIP everyone who tunes in because I've got like 50 free slots still. I VIP'd Angel, by the way, recently.
Nice.
So they can just tune in, you know? It's just if you're a friend of mine and you're nice and you're loyal,
Yeah.
be
Speaking of
willing to
which,
try things.
side note, don't be like some of the people I've seen here on Twitch. Do not be all about the money, because that just makes you seem petty as shit. And I'm pretty sure, Nate, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. The people who are like, oh
I'm
yeah.
not looking for a large financial contribution. If you have the time to sit on Twitch, you have the money to subscribe or whatever.
Anybody who knows who the fuck we're talking about, congratulations. We're not gonna name them by name because A, I don't know their
sorry
name, and
to
B,
anybody who knows who we're talking about.
yeah,
And also,
like,
no problem,
holy
Angel.
shit. Oh yeah. Whoa, people like that just make me go, what are you doing on here? If you want that kind of shit, go somewhere else. Go to one of the adult websites. You're pretty much doing that already.
To be honest with you, like if you're literally doing something like that and you're like, I'm not asking for a large financial contribution. I'm pretty sure she's a larger streamer if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no shit.
She can get sponsorships from actual companies probably.
Exactly. The only thing I ask from people who watch my streams, tune in, is just check out the merch store, see if there's anything that you like. If you want to get something, feel free. You can also donate. There is a donate link. It's not required. It's just something there for if you feel like you want to support the channel. That's what I do.
No, you have to do it. I will ban you otherwise.
I'm not that kind of person. I'd say to people, it is optional. You don't have to.
Yes. Of course, of course.
It's always optional. You shouldn't be forced to do anything for a streamer. If you want to support
it's
the
appreciated,
person, go ahead.
but it's not like you have to do it.
Exactly. I just put it
like
there.
I said, for me, it's just about loyalty, you know?
Some people hear me saying that shit and they just go, okay, I'm leaving now because you're like pettying for money. I'm like, no, I'm doing it so you know it's there. If you
that
choose
actually
to, that's
happened.
your thing.
That happened to me early on stream. They didn't troll or say anything, but somebody followed. Well, because the thing is, when you're doing a sub-only stream, today's Sub Saturday, that's what I do. When you do a sub-only stream, people will follow you sometimes because the stream gives you a short preview, like 10 minutes or something. And I actually told them, I'm like, oh, I'm doing a subscriber-only thing, but if you keep tuning in for a little bit, I'll just VIP you and you can watch these no problem. And they unfollowed me.
I don't get people. Like, thank you to everybody who has followed me over the time. Thank you to Nate who rated me yesterday, even though the stream got fucked up.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, everything got fucked. Like, I was doing stuff. I went away for a minute. Like, I literally swapped it to the intermission screen, which is being used right now. I swapped away for a minute, and because the game had crashed right beforehand, and I was going to go get something to eat or drink in the meantime, I came back, the screen was black, the stream had stopped itself, the whole fucking thing had crashed, and I was like...
So Streamlabs itself crashed? The Streamlabs OBS?
Streamlabs, the OBS portion of it crashed. Everything else was still fine.
Okay.
But I couldn't launch.
I've got something that may help you. Do you have your Streamlabs OBS open right now?
What do you think I'm streaming with right now?
Well, I figured that, but I didn't know if you were using, like, I sometimes will switch back and forth. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no,
for the sake of asking. Also,
I
you
have a
could have it
complete.
minimized as well. You know what I mean.
True. I have a
Go ahead
completely
and
separate like application for just recording normally, but I'm
yeah.
not using that right now. So
Okay, go to your Streamlabs OBS and right click on the preview box
yep.
and then hit performance mode. And tell me if that helps at all with your computer and the way it runs.
Preview
It'll
is
turn off the
disabled.
preview, but everything will work perfectly.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do some real quick check by bringing up the task manager and how much it's used.
Oh, okay, doke.
Perhaps is currently going nuts.
Yeah. Just right click the video preview and go performance mode and let me know if it works for you.
Uh, Currently using 80 with the camera running and everything. Hit performance mode.
And give it just a sec and let me know if that helps or if it does anything for you.
Is dropped a bit. Memory is still the same at the moment. Drop CPU a little bit, but memory seems about the same. Could be
All right, that's actually something I had to use today on stream because my computer's good, but sometimes it just craps out, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it needs to be power cycled, and I sometimes will leave it open all night to upload things to Twitch because Twitch's uploader takes a long time. And
Yeah.
this morning when I started the stream, everything was running good on the starting soon. I fade to cam 24 frames per second on my 30 frames per second stream. I right click, performance mode, everything smooths out for the rest of the stream.
My network use nothing right. My
My
network usage
network,
for OBS is 1 megabit per second, which is apparently overall for every other application open, 1% of
yeah.
my network capability.
I normally stream at like 4,000 bit rate, to be honest, and that's like
Well, I was for a
just
while, but then
below
I
the
was
bar for
having
my internet.
FPS droppage. I have like 10 megabit up and down normally on like good times. So
Yeah. I've got 6 megabit up and like 50 to 80 down. So I can download something really fast and I can't stream at full quality, but I can get pretty close.
the most that the performance mode does for me is drops my CPU a little bit and occasionally 1% below on memory.
Okay, so it's not doing that much for you then.
Yeah, it's not doing a whole lot.
I don't know. For me, it literally like fixed the stream because when I started today, I was actually inwardly thinking I'm gonna have to stop this and power cycle and fix everything, and then I'm like, you know what? Let me just, bam, worked, and I'm like, okay, I'll go with it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Granted, I also like switch around a lot during my stream as well, so like that slows it down a lot. Because I don't like to give people a static image. I like to fade to the face cam, then back to the game, then whatever.
yeah, I have this little transition
I tried to set up like a transition that like pops up a logo or something, and it worked, but it was so slow. When you
Yeah,
go to
of
say
course.
bye to your friend, but instead you end up talking longer before you know it's 5 hours. That is my personality as a person. I just talk,
I used to do that.
basically.
I used to do that all the time with my friend Robert when we were in
Yeah.
middle school. Like it's like we're going to the bus, and the entire time we're talking, it's like, oh, okay, bye, and then like we practically nearly missed the bus one time because we were just chatting the whole time. We didn't realize everybody went out to the buses already.
That's how me and my buddy Michael were. He would drop me off from church every Sunday, and we would talk for literally an hour and a half. And at least 10 times while we are talking, I'm like, well, I should head in. And then we'll be like, wait, I just remembered something. And we just keep talking and keep talking and keep talking.
Anyway, yeah, we should probably end the podcast.
Yes. Anyways, I just remembered something though, Sim.
All right. So
Well, we added filler.
Yeah, we did. That's for sure. Thank you for everybody who tuned into the podcast live. Thank you to those people who tuned into the podcast after it was posted on YouTube. I know I'm saying this a little early because I'm recording this with Nate currently on 5.9. It may not be up on 5.9 or 10 on 5.11. Who knows?
Yep.
We won't know until it's live, but yeah. And also to you bots out there who I know you sure as hell don't watch more than maybe a second of my video before going, "Oh, great video." Fuck you.
Oh, the bots, yes.
I get those regularly now, and I'm just like, no, fuck you.
I've literally, what you can do, and this may piss people off because their comments may get withheld sometimes. What I'll do when I get bots, because I had a bot in my Twitch stream once. I was streaming Banjo Tooie, and I had 15 bots jump in my Twitch stream all at the same time spamming, if you want to buy followers, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the hell? I've never seen it get this bad with anyone else.
Oh,
15 bots. And what I did was
it
I
add
sat
viewers? Did it say adviewers.com?
there. It was saying add viewers, followers, whatever. It's trying to get me to buy viewers, and that's BS.
We had to ban some bots from Scotty's stream recently because of that.
They do that all the time. It's just this new problem with bots and Twitch. And what I ended up doing was I stopped the stream. I didn't stop it, actually. I halted the progress of the stream. Went through ban, just quickly banned them all. And then I opened up Twitch, went to my settings, and copy-pasted their message that said, if you want to buy followers, and I just pasted it there. So now anytime someone hops in my stream and asks me, do you want to buy followers? Immediately held for review or deleted.
All right, we should probably now actually fucking just jumped off on a tangent.
But wait, I just thought of another thing.
Anyway, thank you, Nathan, for hanging out with me for this podcast. Thank you to the viewers who have popped into the live stream. Once again, I'll say it. And thank you to the people who are watching this in post. Please make sure to tune in. Me and Nate are probably going to be doing these around 9-ish, starting on Saturday, hopefully. He'll have his own view with his own podcasting being my own view, stuff like that. So
Yep.
make sure to tune in for those if you want to see it live. If not, feel free to check out the YouTube links and stuff and all the other links that are down in the description below. Live, that's there. And yeah, thank you, everybody, so much. And hopefully Scotty will be next time. This is CY99 and my boy, Nathan Samples, signing out for the podcast. Peace.
Indeed.